There's a saying that goes, how you dress is how you be addressed. It is the unseen ultimate accessory of fashion that heralds your arrival and prolongs your departure in a particular place. Hello and welcome to your favorite program Showcase, and I am your host, Jennifer Okolo. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Showcase, and today we are going to be exploring the world of fashion with Winifred Iyaji, because why not? Looking good is good business, and I'm super excited about this one. Do stay tuned.
I'm Winifred Aluba Iyaji. I'm a fashion designer. I make unisex clothing. I went into fashion because I love to look good, and I also like the confidence that fashion gives people. Like, it makes you more productive and it increases your confidence level. Like right now, I feel so good about myself because I am looking good. I started in April of 2018, 25th to be precise, so I'll be 4 years in 2 weeks. The experience has been good, but it hasn't been easy. It has its ups, it has its downs. But one thing I've learned for sure is once you are determined, there is nothing you can't do. I started out very broke. Like, I was on 0 naira when I started fashion. So one of the things that kept me going, or that even made me start, was my elder brother. He kept encouraging me because shortly before I started fashion, I was working in a hospital. So I left the job and I drained all my savings. All I had left was my fashion skill. I had gone to fashion school after I left the job. So all I had was my skill. So he encouraged me. He paid for me. There is this thing they do in Abuja here, where tailors can actually rent a space and you pay monthly. So you don't have to like get a whole space or like a whole building or a whole shop. You can just pay for a space. People get shops where they equip them with sewing machines. So you can actually get that space and pay between 5 to 10K monthly. So it actually makes it easier for you. So my brother made sure I got that and paid for a month for me. So that was how I started. I started very low, but I thank God for growth. It has not been easy, but I've grown so far, and I'm still growing. I studied human anatomy. At the initial stage, I wanted to study medicine, but I was given in human anatomy. My dad was a doctor, and he was someone I looked up to, so I actually wanted to be daddy. It was much later that I got to realize that that was a borrowed dream. It wasn't my own dream, so I had to like find my own path. So after my dad died, I was working in a hospital. All my life in the corporate world, I've done office administration. So I was still an admin manager in the hospital, not necessarily because I studied human anatomy, but because I had the experience of an admin manager. But even before I got into the hospital setting, I had made up my mind I wasn't going to do anything medical. So my mom, it was sort of easy for my mom, but she always had this concern that I like sharp things. So she was bothered, how are you going to learn fashion? Because you like to learn things quickly. Like, let's say making hair, I know how to make hair. I know how to do a lot of things because I like to do it sharp. But she knew that fashion required some patience. But I'm glad to say that sharp learning skill that I had actually made it easy for me to learn fashion. In 3 months, I had learned so much that I didn't need to go back to school as at then. Although fashion is a continuous thing, you have to keep upgrading and all that. But for my startup level, what I had learned was enough for me to actually start something. One of the challenges for as a fashion designer is getting and retaining tailors. It's not it's not easy at all. You get some tailors, like they are working with you, everything is fine, you are paying them well. Tomorrow they won't just show up. They'll just they'll just ghost you, and you call them, they won't answer. Like a typical example was, there was a time when I was in my former place, I had this tailor that was so good. It was as if I was dreaming. Like, how can someone be this good? On one Monday, this guy didn't just show up, and after a week he sent me a message and goes, I had some issues, that was why I didn't show up for a week. Can I come get the work you have for me and take to my office and go and do them, then bring them back for me? I'm like, for real? So outside your workplace here, you still have your own office, that you expect me to release my clients' fabrics to you to go and do and return. So that is one of the major challenges as a fashion designer. Then another one is with some of our female clients. Some of our female clients bring some clothes for you to do. They don't like look at what they are bringing, the person's shape, everything. They just want you to magically like make that same clothes for them. I had that issue when I was starting up. Right now, I really don't have much of that issue, because I will try to explain to you, like, okay, this clothes that you have brought for us to make is not your body shape, except you want us maybe to alter it. There are things now like hip padding and all that, and you see maybe somebody that has a shape that maybe she doesn't have a hip, but she wants you to like make clothes of someone that has figure 8. So that's also one of the issues, bringing clothes that doesn't enhance the body figures. Sourcing of the fabrics, I do them locally myself. For now, I've not started importing. Oh, I have the dream to do that, but presently I source of my fabrics here in Abuja, and I go to Abatu to source for fabrics. The thing with fashion is you can do different things in fashion generally. There are fashion illustrators, there are fashion designers, there are the seamstress, there are people that do franchise, there are retailers, so there are a whole lot of things. And I'm not so much into fashion illustration, but I can sketch. So what I do is, generally inspiration behind my designs, there are different things. At times, I exercise every day, so most times when I'm jogging, you see like a flower that has yellow and green. You see another one that has blue and green. So all those things, I'll be like, these two colors will fit. So like right now as I'm sitting, I'm wearing pink and red. On a normal day, there are some people that will be like, that's too much of color. But there is no hard and fast rule in fashion. Just do you. So for me, nature inspires me. And there's also this app called Pinterest. When you go on Pinterest, there is nothing about lifestyle that is not on Pinterest. From interior design to fashion to hairstyles to all of those things. So nature inspires me, Pinterest inspires me, and even as I'm conversing with you, your color combination is already inspiring my next collection. So everything inspires. Learning the men work was very easy. Reason is because I learned how to sew female first. Female sewing is way more difficult than men sewing. Female, they have breast, they have bum, we have different shapes, but men is just straight to the point. You don't have to like tweak anything. There are some men that actually like their clothes fitted and a bit of some shape, but it's not as cumbersome as the female work. So learning male work was very, very easy for me because I had previously learned the female. And for the male clients, I have them often. I actually have more male clients than female clients. client crisis for me, right, is mine is even a bit like times two because I hate phone calls. Like at times I used to wonder, why are you in business if you don't like to pick calls? Do you get? So I have to, it's something I have to remind myself of anytime I see my phone ringing. Like I'm still growing and I'm trying to like train my interns and people I have around me to take and to also make business calls. But for now, since I'm the one making and receiving them, I have to like, okay, you have to pick this call. This is a business call and all. Then client crisis. There was one thing I decided from the onset that I wasn't going to disappoint clients. So I think that has sort of shaped my mindset not to disappoint people. And if I think client crisis comes more if you are used to disappointing clients. So I try as much as possible not to disappoint clients. I try as much as possible not to give excuses as to why, okay, your clothes is not ready. One thing I can pride myself in is my word. My word is my bond. If I tell you your clothes is going to be ready on this day, it's going to be ready. If I see that it's not going to be ready, I put a call through to make sure you are aware of that. But as much as possible, I try my best to keep client crisis at minimum. The current economy has definitely affected business in that our prices have to increase because the cost of our materials, the materials we use for making clothes, some have tripled, some have, their prices are now like times 10, but some clients would not even want to hear of it. They'll be like, Winifred, just a month ago you were making clothes for me at this rate, now you are telling me your price have doubled, and we are not even increasing the price in relation to what we are getting the materials that we are making the clothes. So yes, it has definitely affected business. Another instance is the fuel and the electricity crisis. There was just about 2-3 weeks ago, there was no fuel. People had to queue endless hours for fuel, and we were buying black markets. Your client is not even going to hear maybe you use generator to make their clothes or not. The thing is, my clothes, are they ready? So definitely it has affected, but then some of them are understanding, so I'm grateful for that. Fashion business being lucrative it's dependent on who is doing the business, just like any other business. The reason I say this is because I met a fellow fashion designer last week and she was telling me of her pricing strategy. Fashion business is actually lucrative, but it depends on how it depends on your pricing strategy. That's just it. There are some people that are making peanuts, others are making way more than I am. I'm still growing definitely, but so far it has been lucrative. What makes my style unique? When I think about that, I don't think about it in relation to others. I think about it in relation to doing my thing and getting better every day. So from my clients, I'm going to say this from my clients' perspective because they are the ones I'm serving. So one for me is good fit. My clients always give me kudos that they love their fit. And secondly is excellence. My work, if I may say so myself, is very good. I put in the very, very best when I make my work. So good fit and excellence in delivery. There is this lady, her name is Ugochi. She got married last year and she's just an amazing person, right? And this is the thing with our work, or let's say, I don't know if maybe other businesses experience this, but we fashion designers, when you have a jolly client, like they just bring happiness. You know, there are some people that are just cheerful. Believe me, you would want to do your very, very best. It's not like you're not doing your very best for every other client, but you just want to go the extra mile because they are just jolly. So she is like that. And she had her wedding. I made all her outfits for her traditional wedding, and they all came out so nice. She was so happy, and that made me very, very happy. So far, that has been like the job I did that gave me the most excitement. There was this one time, I think that was my second year in business. That job made me feel so bad. So I made a cloth for this client. Okay, it started from choosing the design that we were going to make for her. Now, before myself and a client choose design, I studied their body shape, especially when it's a female. I study their body shape, and I try as much as possible to select or recommend styles that actually enhances their body shape. So this particular lady, she has an apple shape, and when you say an apple shape, it means the upper area from the waist is bigger than from the waist downward. Yeah, so we already decided on a style, and I was excited to start sewing. She goes home and she runs the style by her siblings, and they send me another style. And sort of being a novice, and she's a big madam, I couldn't start arguing with her. So I went ahead and I did. It was a straight dress. The one we had chosen before was an A-line dress, which would have really accentuated her shape, but she changed it. And it was an eyesore when we finished making the clothes. I didn't even believe I made the clothes. Not necessarily because the clothes was not good, but because it didn't flatter her shape. Like, I cried then. I had to leave the balance for her because I didn't know what to do to actually get myself out of that hole. So till today, anytime I think about it, I'll be like, but that was a learning curve, because right now, if anybody should bring that kind, I'll just advise you against it. I'll either advise you against it, or two, I recommend that we enhance the body parts that you don't have. And it's not a bad thing for somebody not to have hip. That's how God created. Yeah, so definitely that was the worst for me. One of my life goals for this business is for the business to outlive me, because a trend I have noticed in Nigerian businesses, or with Nigerian businesses, is that some of them just die with the owner. Like, somebody dies today and the business is gone. So one of my life goals, my major life goal, is for this business to outlive me, whether I'm here or not, for Panache Novelty to live on. So that's one of my life goals. Then, like, in 5 years time, not 5 years time, but one of my 5-year plan, I would love to travel to Paris, go to fashion school, increase my skill set, and just keep growing in fashion. Then bring world fashion to Nigeria, teach Nigerians, the next generation, how to do fashion. Well, I think we can do better. We are doing amazing already, but we can do better. There's always room for growth. How often I have people in for training is 4 times a year. Is every 3 months. So January to March, then April to June. So every quarter. They are serious students, because one thing I try to do is to get people that are interested in fashion. I try as much as possible to make them understand, if you are not interested, then there is no need, because you will just come and waste your time and waste my own time, which is not what I want. If I could learn in this short time, it's not like you learn everything, but you learn the basics. So it's your interest that will now determine in the long run how well you do. So you just have to keep, it's something you have to keep building upon. My advice for entrepreneurs or upcoming fashion designers out there is just keep at it. Like, at the moment, it may not look like it. There are days where you not have clients. There are days where your emotions will just be all over the place, but just keep at it. Definitely, it rains, but sun will always shine. So this is where the magic is done. This is our production room. We cut here and we iron here. From there we move to the sewing machine. This is one of the sewing machines. Then this is our weaving machine right here. Yeah, so this is where we do the magic. When we make clothes, the edges are dirty. So the weaving machine, we use the weaving machine to clean off those rough edges. So the duration for making a dress depends on the type of dress you are making. For instance, if we are to make a bubu dress takes between 30 minutes to 1 hour. Like the dress I'm wearing takes about 5 to 6 hours, while some other like bridal dresses even takes up to like 1 month. So it's dependent on the dress you are making. This is the class for our beginners students. So these machines, they are the tabletop machines. The reason we use these machines for our beginners classes is because these students have no prior knowledge about fashion. So these machines are beginner friendly, but this is where we train our beginners.
I hope you've been inspired as much as I was. Do not forget to catch up with us next week for another amazing exclusive episode of your #1 program, Showcase. I remain your host, Jennifer Okolo. See you next time.